What's going on, guys? I'm MrGoldenGamer, and I make gaming videos that nobody watches. This past week, we got an absolute insane amount of information for Black Ops 7 in blog posts. We got zombies information, multiplayer information, and there's just absolutely no way I could fit all of that stuff into one video. So I will be making separate videos going over various things, but this video specifically is going to be about the new zombies map coming to Black Ops 7 at launch, and that is called Ashes of the Damned. But like I said, there will be more videos on the channel. The next one is going to be going over all of the new and returning features to Black Ops 7 Zombies. So stay tuned to the channel for that, and subscribe, of course, if you haven't already, so you don't miss any of those. But anyway, let's get into Ashes of the Damned. The entire Black Ops 7 story is taking place within the beating heart of the Dark Ether, including future maps. Different timelines collide to form this combined 8-person crew. So the including future maps thing has me a little concerned because this Dark Ether has a very recognizable aesthetic, right? Everything's purple, the skies are purple, it's dark. I just don't want all the maps to look the same, so I'm a little concerned about that, but we'll just have to wait and see. So this place that we dropped into is kind of a Bermuda Triangle type place where all of these things just got teleported to this new space. So there are 6 different main locations on the map, and as I go through these, I'm going to read the descriptions from the blog post, so if I sound like I'm reading off of some AI script, that's why, because that's what it sounds like. But anyway, of course, there's the Janus Towers Plaza, and this is going to be our starting room. Of course, in Reckoning, we finished off at Janus Towers, which then got teleported into this new place. But anyway, the Janus Towers Plaza is a triple-towered superstructure violently crashed into a warped and hostile dimension. One of the towers has collapsed completely, while electricity sparks and crackles from severed power lines arcing into the oppressive skies. Like I said, sounds like an AI script. Anyway, the next one is Van Dorn Farm, which this is of course the farm location from Transit in Black Ops 2, and they describe this one as a once idyllic homestead, now a horrific memory of one family's descent into madness and ritualistic terror. Then we have Blackwater Lake. Tormented phantoms and a drowning in the dark waters, a single act of horror is remembered across an afterlife of guilt. This one doesn't ring any bells from anything we've seen before, but there is this cool cabin here, and then there's the lake, of course, with a floating pyramid island type thing above the lake. This location looks really interesting. Next, we have Ashwood, and this is a frontier town sunken into a rift, overrun, and its inhabitants were massacred in a war of the bygone era. The dead are more than memories here, and this honestly gives me Buried vibes. It reminds me a lot of that town that we went to in the Black Ops 2 Zombies map, Buried. And there are some parallels to an old west town and this guy in the cutscene, right? This cowboy dude, whoever he is, maybe that's where he came from, is this town Ashwood, and maybe there are some parallels to Buried, which would be really cool. The 5th location is called Exit 115. Once thriving, this rest stop and crumbling freeway overpass was torn from its original location. There are faint echoes of a doomed confrontation, only desperation and betrayal remain. And this, to me, looks like Transit again from Black Ops 2, particularly the diner. I think it's pretty much the exact same. They may have changed some things here and there, but it's cool to see another location from Transit make it in. And then speaking of other locations coming back, our 6th location is the Zarya Cosmodrome, and I'm really excited for this one because this is Ascension from Black Ops 1. Those hearing voices before reaching this new world speak of betrayal, sabotage, and scientific hubris. Greed and darker influences have prevented an ascension. Very excited. Ascension is probably my favorite zombies map in Black Ops 1, maybe of all time, I don't know, just really good memories of Ascension and Black Ops 1, so super cool to see this one coming back. Well, not coming back, but being featured as a part of this new experience. Then we have, I know I said there's 6 locations, but there's technically a 7th location, and that is the Fog. The Fog is what is described as all of the areas connecting these different locations, right? So a lot of these things are traversal roads, and there are some additional areas along the way you can explore. And in some examples of that, there's a grounded ship and a forest of monoliths. But the enemies in the Fog are far more powerful, and they appear more rapidly, and they move at a faster speed. So you're not going to want to be in the Fog for too long because it's going to be pretty difficult. Explosive growths are also in the fog. So basically they're like landmines is how I understand it, that when you step on them, you'll take damage. So the fog is a pretty dangerous place to be, but I would imagine, just like in Transit back in Black Ops 2, there's probably some pretty cool things you can discover in hidden locations in the fog. So really excited for that. This map will have a wonder vehicle, and in this map it is an old rusted out pickup truck that is named Old Tessie, and this will enable you to travel between locations, get through the fog easier, but you do have to look out because the truck can take damage and it can become immobilized if it takes too much damage. There are a bunch of upgrades you can do to this vehicle, and here's what I understand of them so far. So the first upgrade is Ted. You take the head of the robot Ted, and that allows you to enable the truck and start using the truck. The next upgrade is the jet engine, and you install this to the rear bumper to enable the Pack-a-Punch, and the Pack-a-Punch will be a part of the truck. So this, to my knowledge, I think is the first ever mobile Pack-a-Punch that you can manually move around wherever you want it, which is pretty cool, especially if you're playing with 4 people as a team. Be pretty fun. Then the third upgrade is the Abomination Carcass, and this will increase the durability of the vehicle, but it also gives you the access to the laser attack from the Abomination heads on the front of the pickup truck, and that looks awesome in the videos I've seen of it. And lastly, there is the DG2 turret. This is a wonder weapon turret that gets mounted to the roof. So after you have all these upgrades, there might be more that we don't know about, but these are the 4 we know about so far. You can make this thing a weapon of its own. So that's really cool. Speaking of weapons, there will of course be a new wonder weapon of this map, and it is called the Necroluid Gauntlet. This is a black skull-fanged glove, which is a deadly melee weapon and also a weapon at long ranges. It can shoot out spikes to skewer zombies, and then the spikes will return to the gauntlet, and it also is able to pull in power-ups from a distance. I'm a little unclear as to how this wonder weapon works, but it seems like it has a melee attack as well as a ranged attack, and it might even have 2 ranged attacks. I think it's able to shoot the fluid and then also able to shoot the spikes, and of course it's able to pull things in. So definitely seems like a fairly powerful wonder weapon, and I'm just happy that there's a new wonder weapon. But I think with Ascension being in this map in the form of Zarya Cosmodrome, I think having things like Gersh devices or the Thunder Gun would be perfect for this map. So maybe there will be another wonder weapon in this map, or at least I hope so. We got a couple new enemy types in this map, and the first are called Ravagers, and these things are enemies that run on all 4s, and they typically run in packs. They can steal your drops and your salvage, which is rather annoying, but they're also able to latch onto vehicles even at high speeds. So these things are going to latch onto your wonder vehicle all the time, and I'm sure they will be a great time to deal with. I just think them stealing my drops and salvage reminds me again of Black Ops 1, the monkeys in Shangri-La stealing your drops and stuff, so kind of reminds me of that. So interesting. They remind me a lot of denizens as well. They look like the denizens from Transit in Black Ops 2. Anyway, the second one is far more interesting, and it's named Zursa, and this is the zombie bear. And not only is it a zombie bear, which is intimidating enough on its own, it is the host to these parasitic insects called zombies. All right, really cringy, but they're bees. It has beehives on its head, and it will shoot bees at you. So it has probably a charge attack and a melee attack, but it also has this ranged attack with these zombies that it's going to shoot out at you, which is really cool. The name is just very cringy, but I'm very excited to see the zombie bear in this game. It's going to be awesome. The bear chasing down the vehicle. Like, how strong is this bear? Is this bear going to absolutely like flip our wonder vehicle? I just can't wait to see it. It's going to be really cool. Along with these 2 new zombie types, there have been changes to the existing enemies. There's a new audio cue when you reach a round in which the zombie strength increases, which is a nice to have, so you'll know when the strength increases. There'll be fewer super sprinters. The super sprinters increase in frequency at a lower rate as rounds continue past 55, and the maximum number of super sprinter zombies in a round will be lowered slightly. There are some adjustments to armored zombies as well. Armored zombies no longer super sprint in higher rounds, and armor is generally more easy to destroy, thank God. They're very annoying. I don't even think zombies needs armored zombies, but that's a topic for an entire new video. Anyway, there's a new feature sort of combat thing, sliding knockdowns. When you slide into a normal zombie, it'll knock it down, but it does not do much damage to it. So if you want to just keep knocking the zombie on the ground, I guess you can. There's a couple of other things that will be featured on the map Ashes of the Damned as well. Jump pads are making a return. Of course, we've seen these in the past, but it's definitely a nice way to get from point A to point B around the map whenever there's a map this big. I think we saw them in Firebase Z is probably the last time we saw them, but of course they were in maps like I don't know, Black Ops 3. Why are the map names escaping me right now? They've been in other Zombies maps, okay? Trust me, they have. But they're back, and they're a welcome addition. There is a new trap in this map that is called the Saw Blade Trap. This is a small plastic doll that's on top of 3 megaphones, and below that there's a chainsaw with a circular saw blade embedded into it. And this thing is attached to a vehicle engine that's connected to a power switch. This thing's pretty cool. Basically, it works almost like a monkey bomb. It will lure people in with the music playing off the megaphone speakers, and then, you know, the chainsaws will go ahead and do their things, which I think this is going to be a fun trap to use. I don't use traps that much in Modern Zombies, but if they're here, we're going to use them. Maybe we can upgrade this trap too. It didn't say anything about that, but it's a possibility. You never know. So that about wraps up everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. There is still a whole bunch more information on Black Ops 7 Zombies that I would like to go over, but I didn't want this video to be a half-hour long, so I will be making other videos going over the new and returning features and the augments and things like that. So if you're interested in seeing those videos, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss them. And if you're still here watching this video, thank you, by the way. I do appreciate you sticking through the video to the very end. Once again, I'm Mr. Golden Gamer, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.